Now, Revelation actually is a summary of God's redemption plan throughout all the history that is written up in the Bible, from the beginning right to the end. Now, the end there is like, it ends in a world that has no end. Because remember, I told you that in the natural, this is the beginning and this is the end. But in the spiritual, this end is a new beginning. The end is a new beginning. That is why he says the end is determined from the beginning. Okay, so we come to a point where death, not even death, is the end. He says in the message, when Christ rose from the dead, it signaled the end of death as the end. It was just a new beginning. So when we step into Christ, this is where we step into. The minute you say yes to Jesus, you've already stepped into eternity. Because whether you live or die, it doesn't matter anywhere. Okay, it's all God's redemption plan. The whole Bible has one subject: Christ coming to do the will of the Father, to redeem humanity from sin. Hebrews 10 verse 7. He said, "Lo, I come." In the volume of the book it's written, I come to do your will. The volume of the book, the whole Bible. If you still read just that story, it's like the way you read a children's Bible. And then we have, oh, Jesus walk on water. Jesus walk on water. Hey, it was God that no earthly bounds could keep him. You see, but we don't get that concept because we have these little stories. Oh, now we fed 5,000 people with 2 fishes. Is that a good story? No. It's a reality to know that whatever you have, God can use. This is God we have to do with. Okay. Now, he says, but all this fullness of time works out in time periods. And I should have put Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 here. Because he says, for every purpose, there's a time. There's a time and a season for every purpose. There's not a purpose for every season. That's a big difference. Come on. There's a time and a season for every purpose. I am a purpose. Guys, the things of God worked out in specific times. Now he says, in the fullness of time, Christ manifested. And that is why I did the timeline so much with you. How many days are there in the creation? 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When? What is the middle of this? Can anybody tell me? 4. And exactly 4,000 years after the beginning, Christ was crucified. The fullness of time. Come on. And if you go read Genesis 1, you'll see day 1, separation between day and night, separation between waters and waters, separation between land and seed coming in. And then only days and nights started. Wow. Remember, from the beginning to the end, this is all God's purpose. So Genesis 1 also gives us the timeline for this age we're living in. And if we can understand that, we'll understand all the stories of the Bible. Because in day 1, there was the flood. Day 2, there was Abraham. Day 3, there was David. Day 4, Christ came. So I'm not going to put myself in here because we're here. We're here where the greatest day ever comes. That is why the book of Revelation is now opening up. Is it because Annalise is great? No. There's a purpose in my life. The book of Revelation is very clear to what it is about. It is not the book of Revelations. When anybody speaks and they say, the book of Revelations, I'm like, just go read it. It says Revelation. because it's not the revelation of the beast and the Antichrist and the dragon and the false prophet no, they are just mentioned. It is the revelation of Jesus Christ and what he has done. Okay, getting it? So Revelation 10 verse 7 says, in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when it shall begin to sound, the mystery of God should be finished. Wow. What is the mystery of God? Great is the mystery of godliness. God manifested in a flesh. So when is this finished? When the seventh angel. So it was the cross, and there was a time after the cross. And when the seventh angel sounded, the work of the Son of Man, Son of God, Jesus Christ the Lord, was finished. So are we waiting for it? No, it's done. Okay, now, as time goes, revelation grows. Okay, in your own life too. I can't take a grade 1 student and give him my car keys and say, go drive. Okay, but I can give it to you. Why? Your time is there. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Now he says, God has placed eternity in our hearts in Ecclesiastes 3:10, but we'll never know what he's doing from beginning to end. Why? Our lives are too short. So there's only one way that you can actually get out of what you're stuck in, and that's by the Spirit. There's no time in the Spirit. There's no age in the Spirit. There's no qualifications in the Spirit. There's no size in the Spirit. There's no rich or poor in the Spirit. There's no classes in the Spirit. There's no races in the Spirit. What a place. What a place. So if I can stir one young person here to start, get up and wake up to his spirit, man, and step up in what God has for you. Come on, man. Come on. Because my old picture, if this is the line, the lowest in the Spirit is higher than the highest in the natural. It doesn't matter what you've attained in the natural, it's still smaller than one person that decides to open up his spirit to God. Supernatural. Nie superman. 2 Peter 1:19. We have a sure word of prophecy whereunto we do well, as a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day star arise in your heart. Until means time. In the Spirit, there's no time. But we must wake up, because he says it's high time, and we must wake up to the time we have. But we don't even understand. Listen, guys, if you put yourself in this time, you're in trouble, because the biggest tribulation was just after the cross, up to 70 AD. This was the worst time ever on the face of the earth. And here, the day star arise, and it will never stop. It will just go on. But here, the whole thing started going down from Babylon, and it went down, 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 and it's never going to come up again. So the point where it was so low, that was called the Dark Ages. Witchcraft was in the streets, man. You think it's bad now. The Dark Ages, it was dark. But the light started rising from Christ, and it's never, ever, ever going to stop. So if he says until, it means there's time. Now he says the prophets searched. Can I read it to you? The salvation, of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently, who prophesied of the grace that should come to you, searching of what manner of time the Spirit of Christ was in them did signify, when it tested about the sufferings of Christ and the glory that should follow. They were given the former rain, the Holy Spirit, but it went down. But he says there will be time of refreshing until the restoration of all things, and then we'll see the former and the latter rain. So if we can discern the time we're in, okay, why don't we discern the time we're in? Every beginning is like, okay, woo, I'm going to do this. This year is so good. This year is so good. My books are new, and I do all my homework, and it goes nice. In the middle of the year, oh my word, stuck in the middle. Then we've got to go up. And it's towards the end of the year, and the teachers are finish. But when you come here, it's like, I'm not tired. And this is where most people give up. Don't give up. The end is only a new beginning.